Welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. Looks like it's just Wayne. It's funny how. Yeah, I'll get into that a little bit later. But what's going on, fellas? What's up, everybody? I see Master Craft, Sexy Scenarios, Master Craft. I had to fix that title. That's Tim. That's Tim with the foolishness. We know who led the Sixers, and it was Biid and Harden, honestly. Biid is playing at another level right now. And Joel Embiid right now is just dominating. Sabonis is one of the names, the big people, supposed to be one of the big guys in the league, one of the tougher, bigger guys in the league. And Biid has away with him. Got him in foul trouble early on. There's nothing they could do. They brought substitutions in there. They brought balls in there to try to the bench players come in. They couldn't stop Biid. Nobody's stopping Joel Embiid right now. And I agree. What's good, Mark? And I agree, Scenarios. Toby's having an outstanding season. Especially if you're talking about somebody that's coming in as your fourth best player. Maxi's not here yet. Right now, Toby's playing like he's the third best player right now. But I do think that Maxi, when Maxi get back in the rotation, I think Maxi's still gonna step in and do what Maxi do. But right now, Joel Embiid, he put the Sixers on his back and this man is averaging 33 points a game right now. He had 30. I think he had 32 tonight, but he could have easily went for like 50 tonight, but he didn't need to because he had the rest of the team balling out. We didn't have Melton tonight. Shake played solid. I gotta look at the stats a little bit. I know Legend Harden was killing it. Harden, these assists, the team, the ball moves around so much better when Harden's in the game. It just does. He's the true point guard. I like Melton. I do like Melton as a change of pace and as a backup point guard. But Harden, like the way he commands the floor, man, and the spacing and everything else. I mean, I at this level, if he's playing on this level, and he shot, I think he was shooting like 4 for 5 from 3 in the first half or whatever. So the Sixers really did blow him out tonight. The refs kind of tried to help them back in it. Sabonis, Sabonis was trying. You right, Scenarios. Sabonis, the first two fouls they called on Biid was I don't know what that was supposed to be. Sabonis tried to bully his way, and Biid just stepped to the side. The ball fell, and they called foul. Hey, he was flopping all around trying to get back in there. So. I mean, we even got some quality minutes out of Thibault tonight. So, he's mad. They had a bad shooting night. Why did they have a bad shooting night? You talking about their shooting? The Sixers had 80 points at the half. You talking about because they had a bad shooting night? The Sixers had 80. They had 80. Start the third quarter. They had 80 points. What they got to do with Sacramento shooting? That's the Sixers dominating offensively. That's what that is. It do happen. It happens to a lot of people. But I don't care how bad your shooting is. You don't give up 80 points at the half. So, and I agree. Biid made some quality passes too. It was one point. I believe it was the fourth. It might have been in the third. It was some point like when they was making a run back, and Biid got the ball. He was at the top of he went to try to back down. They collapsed down on it. He kicked the ball out. Then he called back for it. He went down. They double teamed him. He swung it to the wing. The ball everybody touched the ball. Toby threw it to Biid threw it to somebody. They threw it to somebody, and then somebody banged the three from the corner. I think Niang banged the three from the corner. It was perfect ball movement. When you got a point guard that can set space, get space and everything out there on the floor, it sets it up. You got a big man that can set space. You got a big man that can create space and dominate inside like B's been doing the last couple games, and he can hit that mid-range step back. When your shooters are hitting and your point guard can set the pace of the team, right now the Sixers is cooking. So, I mean, I think the next game is Friday against Golden State. Golden State getting mopped up tonight. That's probably why somebody ain't come, because I know they was up looking at the Golden State game. Probably ain't looking at it no more because it ain't close. But yeah, I don't want to hear none of that talk about, oh well, it's only Sacramento. Relax. They was off. They was shot. I don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Harden been back 3 games now. After that first game, he's been solid all 3 games. So I do look forward to seeing what happened when Maxey come in. Like I said, Thibault had a decent game. Let me pull up some of these numbers. Hold up. Yeah, the Sacramento actually been playing a lot of teams tough. Of course, their record is what it is, but you can say the same thing with the Sixers. All right, hold up. I don't know why I got the stupid Bucks game up. That thing is over. Ephraim know he's still up watching the Bucks. Sixers. Yep, I agree, David. It was the ball movement. And wait, early on when Tucker hit a couple threes, I was like, "Oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap." Tucker actually hit some shots. Yeah, Harden with 21, 7 rebounds, 15 assists. Biid, Sabonis shouldn't even have. They kill me with that. So they gave Sabonis some point. Sabonis was out this game, shut down out of this game. The refs kind of, and I hate for it to sound like this me saying about the refs because Embiid did get his fair share of free throws, but it was legit fouls. But the refs, it seemed like they started calling some shaky type stuff to kind of keep it a little close tonight. Because this game could have easily been like a 40-point blowout at one point. And it was like, you know what I'm saying? I think the refs kind of started dictating a little bit. But hey, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to keep it honest, to keep people out there watching. The Sixers was without Tyrese, Melton, and House. Let me see what did Biid drop all together. Yang with a solid 12 off the bench, 12 with 6 rebounds, 3 assists, shot 50%, all 3-pointers. Milton 1 for 3 from 3, shot 5 for 10. Milton had another solid game. He put Montrez in. I still like to see Paul Reed. I still like to see Paul Reed get some minutes. Hopefully, whenever we go to play the Bucks, he makes sure to give Paul Reed minutes. Yeah, B did end up with 31-7. Only 2 assists, but he only had 2 assists. But Embiid made a lot of the good. You know how you say like hockey assist? Like he made the first pass, and then after that, everybody swung around and they got it. Hey, Kraft, you gotta stop hating on Harden, bro. Like for real. Listen. And I agree, David. I'm not a big Trez fan. Trez brings energy, but this what I want to ask as a Sixers fan base. See, as a Philadelphia sports fan base, everybody know how I felt about Jalen Hurts. I didn't believe in his arm strength and everything. His arm strength is adequate and well enough to do the job, and everything else that he does is amazing. At some point, like don't hate on the player. Like you got to realize for what they're doing and accept what they're doing. Everybody that was hating on okay, Kraft. All right, just making sure. Everybody, if you hating on Harden, like you ain't want Harden in the Ben Simmons trade, you wanted somebody else. Stop hating on Harden. He balling. If you was hating on Embiid, because Embiid always hurt. Embiid, he solved Embiid flopping. Embiid is balling. Stop hating. Enjoy what Andy Reid said years ago. Enjoy the win, man. Enjoy the win. Right now, they're playing. The Sixers are playing. Shake coming in and playing. You know, as a team, they're playing. He ain't coming and give you spot up minutes. I thought Thibault had a decent night too. You know what I'm saying? He was going inside, scoring some. He hit 1 open 3. He probably won't hit another 3 for about 5 games, but you know. So, I mean, I'm happy with how the things went tonight. It was a pretty easy win, but I got to tell you, and I'm trying to say this without sounding like a homer because it's going to sound like a homer. But right now, I think Embiid might be the best player in the league. I'm saying playing at the way that he's playing right now. I'm not saying like he's better career-wise or he's far better than all these other guys in the league, this, that, and other. But I think as of right now, on both sides of the floor, you put everything into it. I think Embiid is playing like an MVP right now. I'm not sure if he'll get the credit for it because – you know, the team's record is not that great, even though they got Luke up in there, and I think they playing at like a 500 clip. So, but what else y'all got from like? Let me see what y'all saying up in here. I talk myself to death. Trez a better player than Reed. What exactly do you see that Trez do? Trez has had a better career. And I think Trez is a smarter player, but I don't necessarily think Trez is that much better than. I don't think Trez is that much better than Reed. I like the thought of letting young players try to play and get themselves into it, because at a certain point you do need young athleticism. Montrez can play bully ball. Reed biggest problem is he plays dumb at times. So I get it. Trez is a solid veteran that plays smart, but I'm not. I still like to see young, because I think certain times you need that influx of young energy to step up and do stuff. I agree, David. Paul Reed gets energy on them boards, and he fights on them boards. I think he's a better rebounder. I mean, I don't know what the stats say, but it seems like he's more active around the board. And I would like to see Harrell and Reed get more minutes together. Tucker had a solid game. Like he stuck his hand in there. It was, a little, what I'm saying? He was a pest on defense, and he throws his body on the rebounds and stuff, but he's just undersized to play the position that he plays. Unless he's playing, if he's hitting his 3-pointers at a high clip, because he's going to get wide open 3-pointers in this system with these players around there. He's going to get open threes. He has to hit that open shot. It's kind of like Thibault. Like, you got to be able to hit that open shot in order to justify those minutes that they're giving Tucker and the money that they're giving him. You know what I'm saying? I get it with Thibault. They probably, because you got so many guards, you don't need to play Thibault as much. But Thibault been Mark, you have been saying, I've been saying it too. We've been saying that about Reed and Harrell playing more together. But for whatever reason, Doc got it set in his mind. Whenever we play Milwaukee, I think we're going to have to look into some of that, like playing with Reed or Harrell starting with them, because Milwaukee's big. If you see, pause, but Milwaukee has that size, and they play a lot of bully ball tonight against Golden State. So, yeah, I'm not hyping PJ Barnes. PJ shutting down Barnes. I mean, I don't know. PJ's underwhelming to me this year. I mean, I thought if nothing else, we was getting that spot up. I know he does play scrappy. I'm not diminishing his effort, because I think that he does bring effort and energy, and I did like the Sixers picking him up because of that. However, you got to be able to make open layups and open jump shots. I mean, we ripped Ben Simmons because he didn't do either of those, right? And I agree. PJ plays too many minutes, way too many minutes. PJ should play no more than 20 minutes a game. From time to time, you put him in more. If if you really need him on certain people to defend him and get tough in there, you need a certain toughness. But I think right now the Sixers, as a team, I think they play physical. I think they play tough. Yep, Curse Classic. Toby. I think Toby can give you games like this on a regular from not being the guy. I think Toby it was a disservice done to Toby when we brought him in here after Jimmy left. See, remember when he was first here and Jimmy was here and Ben and Toby could just fly under the radar and just be another good piece. And I think he was averaging like 19 and 7 or something like that year, including what he was doing in with the Clippers. I think with the Sixers, at times with the Sixers, we've looked for Toby to carry the team, and Toby's not that type of dude. You know what I'm saying? Toby can get you buckets in key moments. Like if in certain lineups, this is why I would like Toby to be the small forward and get a legit power forward in there. Because in certain moments, like if you see when they get Toby matched up on a guy that's around his size or smaller, he will go and get physical and like go down there, and he got a nice little finishing game in the middle when he's healthy. Last year, remember too, like I think last year there was a lot of hate on Toby and stuff, saying about how many missed shots he was having, but it came out that he was actually playing injured. When you see Toby's healthy, he's pretty solid with that mid-range and the pull-ups, and he even attacks the basket decently. He could dribble with both hands. And I think he's still shooting like around 40% from 3 this year. So I'm not looking, I don't think you could, with Toby being your second best player, I don't think that you win it. But if you got Harden playing the way that he's playing and Biid on that elevated level he on, and then Maxi's going to come back bringing what he's bringing, I'll take this, Tobias. And that's my point that I've been making when people saying trade Toby for Collins, or trade Toby for this, trade Toby for that. But Toby's not too small to play too slow to play the three. The Sixers team slow it down. When you got it, the Sixers for real are a half court type team. They get out and run in moments when they need to, but for the most part, they slow it down. And that's the kind of team they're going to have to be in the playoffs. That's the kind of teams, if you look at it, that's what teams do in the playoffs anyway, right? They slow it down, get them to more half court sets. So if you tell me you got Tobias Harris and the Sixers do a lot of switching on defense, they play like that zone switch off type defense. I think you can get away with Toby playing in the middle when you got Embiid down there, manning down the middle. And then you're also talking about if you have Embiid down there and another power forward down there, then I don't think Toby's as bad defensively as people say. Now, is he going to sit there and guard Steph Curry? Heck no. You know what I'm saying? He might not even be able to guard Wiggins or something. But when they get down to it, it's going to be hard for them to defend him too. And they got to step out there to guard his shooting, and he can go play bully ball at times against the smaller players. So I think the Sixers need to be the kind of team like Milwaukee is, a big team that bullies you but can hit from outside. So that, I mean, I get it. I still don't think that Toby's as slow. He's not, but see, you saying he's quick to beat the fours. If you ever notice when Toby, that's just like when Toby's out there and he go to shoot the three, they jump out. Toby goes in and he'll back somebody down. So if it's the smaller guys, Toby can back them down. He said, "Do they what would PJ do in the big three? What is PJ Tucker going to do in the big three, coach? Or he gonna be a mascot?" In the big three, don't you need? Ain't they usually looking for people that do scoring and provide some excitement and stuff? PJ might be the anti-big three player because all he gonna do is get out there, try to scrap around, play defense, hack people up. So no, PJ, you might just need to send him down to the end of the bench. I think it's a point in time where PJ is. I'm not saying PJ is completely useless on a team, but is the amount of minutes, like multiple people have said, it's the amount of minutes he's playing. But you say, all right, he may be slow foot speed, you know what I'm saying, and reaction. I don't think Joel Embiid is as slow as you making him out to be. I've seen plenty of times where Joel Embiid can just shift and go all the way across the court to get a block or make moves like that. So and to me, right now, Joel look like he in peak health right now. If you look at some of the plays that he make, like when Harden hit him on, and he's stepping in and sidestepping and finishing layups and stuff like that. And I know some people get tired of saying Joel fall on the floor, this, that, and other, but I honestly think that that's a protection. I know sometimes when you taught, like it's better to take the fall than to hurt yourself trying to keep yourself up, if that makes sense. I know for me, the times that I have gotten hurt was I got hurt trying to catch myself and brace myself. Like when I broke my hand, it was me trying to catch myself falling. But other times, like playing football, basketball, everything else, I usually try to roll with it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might laugh because you fell, but guess what? When you get to take those control rolls, those control falls, you're not leaning awkward on any joints, anything, and straining nothing. So, you say he's a flopper. Yeah, I agree. Scenarios. Easy money, you doing a little bit of hating. You're doing a little bit of hate. Well, who you a fan of? You're not a Sixers fan, are you? Who you a fan of, Easy? Probably like a Nets fan or something, ain't you? You probably was a Ben Simmons fan. Now you're a Nets fan. Go ahead, tell us. Are you? Don't get quiet now. Your Twitter fingers was popping a second ago. Tell us what you are. Who you riding with? But no, scenario, I agree. I do think Biid does a lot of that to avoid injuries. And he has gotten better with his passes. Now, that being said, to really see how much better he's gotten with his passes and stuff, I need to see him against a team like Boston, who you know is going to bring athletic traps on him, put a big body to get up on him, and then send help. So Dave, I think they said I think they said they was looking at Maxey just to see. I think Doc said a couple of days ago, like Maxey haven't been playing. He's like I think he's healthy, but he hasn't played. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he's healing up nice, but he hasn't like right. I think Doc said he got at least him play like 2-on-2s or something. Like he's not playing at all. So maybe during this home stretch sometime, he'll like they'll get when you're at home, a 7-game home stretch, and you're not traveling, you get a chance to do practices and stuff. So maybe, when they get in practice, they get to see what Maxey could do running in like a little scrimmage or something here or there. So, but yeah, B will X-Man B. This is what you get though. And I'm not just saying the Philadelphia's fan base. Fans do it. Fans do it everywhere. That's why I hate when people hate on Philly fan base, because I do believe that Philly fan base is one of the smarter fan bases in all sports. We just emotional. But see, that's kind of what makes us a great fan base too, because we're emotional and we put our heart into it and like that. But it do make sometimes for some drastic, you know what I'm saying? That's like, all right, we see Harden balling now. Harden's been having a decent season. All of a sudden, let Harden let him have a bad game. Oh, see, Harden out here stinking again. We Harden this, Harden that. You know what I'm saying? They get to hating on Harden. Or Embiid. We see Embiid on this stretch that he on now. Embiid, the first player this year to have more than one 50-point game. I think in Sixers history, he's like second behind Wilt. I think they said like in like 50-10 games, 50 points, 10 at least 10 rebounds, something like that. So I mean, the way Biid looks like he got better. A lot of times people was thinking Biid was what'd you say, Art? Straight. No, listen. First of all, you already know I was a physical beast. I may get it back someday, but I was a physical beast. That being said, the biggest injury, I broke my hand because I missed a step coming out of Ephraim's house, and I should have sued him because his steps was goofy. But I missed a step, tried to catch myself and broke my hand, shattered my middle finger somehow. But yeah, Dave, that's what I'm saying. Philly fans, listen. Philly fans, and that's why I'm saying, like, I get it. Like, sometimes it might be certain players that you feel some kind of way about. Like, like I said, some people might have wanted Halliburton instead of Harden. And I'm not saying that would have been a bad trade, you know what I'm saying? Because Halliburton is balling. But when you look at what Harden's doing for this team and how he's playing for this team, and really at how this team is played when you have them together, him and Biid together, like, that's not a bad trade. Like, at a certain point, we just got to enjoy it and hope that we continue to play better as a team and grow better as a team as all our pieces come together. Like, I wonder how many games we actually had where everybody was healthy, like all our key contributors were healthy. You know what I'm saying? We had games where now some of it might be the Sixers just managing their roster. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like House might be sitting out because House might be sitting out because, like, he's not going to play tonight. So we just say we set him out tonight or something like that. Like, how they do the thing. Oh, yeah, the string back or a tight back. So we hold him out. But do I think the window is closing on this team? If you have Harden as an integral piece, the window can't be but so big. Now that being said, if the Sixers front office is doing their job, I still think Embiid's 30 years old. I think Embiid, the way that he plays, Embiid could play and be solid and will he average 30 points or something at the age of 35? I don't think so. But Embiid can shoot. You know what I'm saying? He can shoot. Who's to say his jump shot won't even get better? He might get more of that grown man strength once he start hitting his 30s. You know what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily think, I know some people have always said Embiid window is short because he's so injury prone, this, that, and the other. But I think big men in the league, we've seen big men still be able, like if, for instance, look at Lopez. Lopez used to average like 20-something points a game, like he was a beast. Like, now he's still a solid contributor to the team. You just can't focus the team around him. So if Maxey progresses the way that he's supposed to, and you still have Melton's kind of young, and then if they draft right or bring in pieces here and there, like when you get things like when Toby gets to, like Toby's contract expires next season, so if you're not going to bring him back at a certain point, and if you're not looking like Embiid only 28, dang, it just seemed like that's even better. Come on, bro. Embiid only 3, Embiid only 28. You telling me you don't think you can get another 3 or 4 years of Embiid at this level till you about 32, 31, 32? And that's the other thing is Embiid shoots free throws at a high clip. Just think about some of your favorite players, right? Think about some of your favorite players in history, like the more dominant. Think about Giannis. Giannis can't shoot. I think Ephraim had posted a stat tonight. They was like at one point Giannis was like 0 for 13 from jump shots. But he gets to the basket relentlessly. He gets fouled. He can't shoot free throws that great. Even look at LeBron. LeBron shoots his free throws be like in the low 70s and stuff at times. Shaq was shooting in the 50s and 60s at free throws. Could you imagine if Shaq was shooting 80% at free throws? He would have been averaging 50 points a game easy. He would have been averaging like 50 something that easy. Look at like I said, you look at some of your more potent offensive players, like the dominant ones that play down low, and they weren't able to. So you got Embiid who could shoot the 3 at a decent clip. I think he might even get better at that at certain points. Like you've seen big men get better at their 3. You've seen players get better. Remember, like Jason Kidd had no 3, and as the game went on, as his career went on, he got better at shooting 3s. So I think Embiid does that, and that's why I don't get so upset when everybody say they want Embiid just down there banging around all the time. Like if that mid range is hitting, where you at, Ephraim? Don't ask where Ethan and Tim. Where you at? Because we know if Steph Curry was dropping 50 points right now and he just brought them back to beat the Bucks, you would have seen that little light-skinned head pop up in the corner of the screen like Ephraim is now entering the studio. I know it. Everybody in here know it. So don't you dare question nobody else. Any other night, I understand. But a little fraudulent. You're a little bit fraudulent. But yeah, people that know me know I can rap. I can get to talking a little bit sometimes, but I am definitely trying to, look at y'all comments and but David, I don't even think Embiid would have to be a 3-and-D center. I think Embiid can definitely, I think Embiid's type of game, he could go into his late 30s. He won't be, like I'm saying, he won't be this effective dominating like this. But I think Embiid can be a crucial part of a team even going into his late 30s. So if the Sixers do the right things and they do their thing right, they can manage, and you bring in younger talent to grow around them. Now, will Doc be able to be your coach? Probably not, because you're going to need somebody that actually uses young talent and puts young talent to use. So yeah, exactly, Dave. Remember she was a baller in Portland, but by the time he got over there to Detroit, he was an old head, but he had that old head game. He still brought in a lot. You had, and certain guys like that, like Embiid, like even like I said, Lopez, like these guys every once in a while when they on a team that can hold it down and you got another star on there, every once in a while they throw in one of them games. You like that they make you remember. You know what I'm saying? They make you remember what they was. You know how that old head go to the gym. The old head might come to the gym and, like he used to ball back in the day. And you say, he kind of played kind of laid back, but then somebody might talk greasy to him one time. And he's like, a word. And he just turned it on. And then for like that game or for like the next couple games, he just started giving that work. And then after that, you're like, dang, go ahead. I didn't know you still had it. It just be like they said about Mike, right? Who was I was just looking at somebody did a pod. Somebody was doing a pod and they was interviewing somebody and they was talking about Mike. And they was saying how, no, it was Steven Jackson. And he was saying how it was something when he was in Charlotte or whatever. And, Mike, like Mike said something about them, like how they was playing, that they wasn't playing hard. And he told him, he was like, yo, take my shoes off your feet. Like, he was like talking to the whole squad. So Steven Jackson said, Mike, like this, like 50-year-old Mike. He said when they came down there to practice, Mike ran with the second team. And he gave them work. Like he ran with the second team against the first team, like how Jimmy did in Minnesota. They said like 50-year-old Mike did that and gave them Bulls work. So if you're talking about a young, and it looked like Embiid taking better care of himself, even when he's out for a little bit, he doesn't look like he gets bloated up and overweight and everything else like that. So, sometimes responsibilities of family man help you change certain things up. And that's the other thing, like was mentioned, if B's 28, right? Sometimes we have to think about it. And this is why I don't necessarily like, even with Maxey, when people say Maxey was this, Maxey was that, sometimes we got to realize how young these guys are. Like if you're old head, right? You in your 30s, like a lot of us, I'm pretty sure probably in our 30s, 40s, 50s, something like that. You think about the moves you made in your 20s, you know what I'm saying, in your mid to early 20s and stuff like that. Think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know for me, like I made a lot of goofy moves, maybe even in my early 30s. So you talking about like these guys like Embiid and some of these guys that be out here and partying or not taking real good care of themselves. It's easy to think of them and being that they should know better because they're professionals, but they're also young boys. You know what I'm saying? That's like when you look at a Maxey, like that's why I don't put too much on Maxey and expecting Maxey to carry the organization right now, because he's still young. Let him grow into it. Remember that Lakers team, right? The Lakers had they had Julius Randle, they had D'Lo, I think they had Ball. I think Ball came when after D'Lo left, if I'm not mistaken. They had Ingram. Think about all that talent that they had, and they just couldn't put it together. They always young. But then you look at them a few years later, they start getting a little bit older, and Randall's still spotty. I think Randall would have done well to be in a better coach situation. But you look at Ingram. Ingram is like Kevin. He like KD light. That's what I always call him. You know what I'm saying? He like KD light. Then Ball had, other than injuries and stuff, Ball has done his job. He done balled out. So sometimes you got to give these young boys a chance to grow into that. So that being said, that's like Biid. He's 28 now. So don't look at Biid when he was 24, 25, 26, even some of the dumb stuff he's doing. He's looking more like a leader and acting more like a man and a leader now. So Ephraim, stop hating. Stop hating. My throat about to be dried out. But that's what I'm saying, man. I do think that Embiid can do this for a few years. And that's why the whole Ben Simmons thing was kind of frustrating, because they was young together, like young. like if you have, but now, like even with Maxey now, Maxey's young. I think Maxey could hit his prime in about 2 years or so. I think he's on the precipice of hitting that. He just needs to be more consistent. So I think if Maxey hits, you can have Maxey hitting stepping into his prime while Biid is right there, get ready at the crescent, the top, and about to fall down. So you can have two players, like one entering his prime and one like about to fall out of his prime, and have a quality 1-2 punch. And you just have to fill up the roster with a lot of quality players around there. And that's where your GM have to do their job. You know what I'm saying? And make trades for draft picks. Like when you have agent contracts about to come off, they're going to have to make moves. So, like I said, I like the way Toby's playing. And that's the other thing is, if the Sixers could only get a champion, I think if they could get a championship with Biid in the next couple years, I think that elevates Embiid's game. I think it elevates his game because, for one, you get that respect of being a champion. You get that respect of being a champion. You get that experience of going through the battle and getting all the way there. Of course, he got to get out of the second round first, but hopefully this is the year to do it. Yeah, Mr. Wing, me and Ephraim calls him the Happy Hooper. I think either Ethan or Ephraim, they get to be blurring in and being the same person. But I think it was Ephraim called Maxey the Happy Hooper. I need Maxey to get mad. Like, how some guys, when they get mad and you see they mad, and it's like, oh, he ain't playing around. Like they might get caught on a bogus foul call or something, or something shaky. And then when they come back in, they like, nah, you see they mad and they just giving you buckets. I need Maxey to be like that. With Maxey, it's kind of like he like happy-go-lucky, I think I need him to cut the hair off. That might, because that kind of looking at his hair be bouncing around. He smile. He get like little kid vibes. Maybe get some braid, like some, some hood braids or something. But his parents might not be letting him do. Like, let me stop. I'm not hating on Maxey. Maxey is a young boy, and he's an outstanding young fellow. I think he's a good person too. But I would like to see him get a little bit of a mean streak in him. What'd you say, Mark? I think Biid and Harden had great chemistry. But I think they have been including Toby in that. Toby's been shooting like 40% from three, from that corner three spot. That spot where Danny Green was making a living. So you got Biid and Harden running that pick and roll. When you look at the offense that they running, you got Biid, Harden, pick. For real, for the one spot that's killing us on the offense in the starting unit is Tucker. And all I need is for Tucker to hit them wide open threes. I don't need, like how, you know how Niang hits the wide open threes? I need Tucker to hit some of those. Now, Niang will also shoot with somebody closing out on in their face. I just need Tucker and Thibault. If Tucker and Thibault could just hit a wide open three, like 1 or 2 a game, just hit the 1 or 2 a game, just where somebody know if you have that ball in that corner, they got to run out and contest it. That's what they got to do. Yeah, Thibault had one, but that's Phil. Thibault had one tonight, but that's what I'm saying. Are you going to count on him to hit one a night? Because they gonna give him open looks. If Thibault if he on the floor for about 20 minutes, Thibault's gonna get about a good 3 open 3-point looks. And now one thing I will give, Thibault will shoot, like when they tell Thibault, exactly, Phil. That's what I'm saying. So if you know he ain't gonna hit one a night, you know the defense looking like we ain't running out to that. But I do agree, Thibault. I think Thibault, I think the reason why PJ gets the minutes over Thibault, because we actually have decent guards. I mean, if you think about what's the strong suit on our team, our center is dominant. I mean, might be the most dominant player in the league right now. Embiid is. Then the guards, you got Harden, Maxey. Well, Maxey's not here right now, but you know when he playing, you got Harden, Maxey, Milton, like you got quality guards on this team. Even, I mean, hey, listen, even Quirk every once in a while come in and give you some burn. So we got guards. So it's like kind of hard to justify giving a lot of minutes to Thibault. Then that means you're going small ball. You know what I mean? But PJ bring the effort, and I don't take it lightly that PJ may even influence some of the toughness that we see in Biid with now. Like the management of this team has filled this team up with tougher guys around Embiid, and I low key think that it's been working on Biid some. Like Embiid looks like he's a little bit more physical, a little bit more like not so whiny. I mean, he still called for foul calls and stuff, but even Harden, like you don't see Harden and Biid doing a whole lot of the crying and like whining, whereas though it get them out of position on the defensive end because they down there crying for calls. Like it was even one of them plays tonight. Harden went to the basket and he like made it, and they could have called the and-1 for it, and they didn't call it, and he was like, "Yo," but he's running up the court. Like it wasn't no him standing down there arguing with the ref, like, "Oh, that should have been," or if they miss it, "Oh, that should have been." They're getting back and playing. They don't do a lot. Last year they did way too much of that, and I do think a lot of that is credited to Harold and PJ. So. Well, I guess I done probably burned y'all out. Y'all probably tired of my voice. And but it was a good win tonight, man. It was fun. You know what I'm saying, definitely fun. If I knew how to hit the button to have people come in and had some comments, I ain't technically strong like that. So, but yeah, thanks, Phil. Yeah, y'all, if y'all can hit that like button, I appreciate it. If y'all share the link, share it. Like, tell your friends about the pod. You know what I'm saying? If y'all enjoy what y'all hear. You know what I mean? Let people know. Put the name out there a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let them know. Check us out. You know, and I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. Not making it crickets, giving me something to talk about and interchange with. And I appreciate all y'all, man. Y'all be safe and have a good night.